So today I'm going to be doing a book review of The Ruby Circle by Richelle Mead, the sixth and the final book in the Bloodline series. And what you just saw was footage from the Ruby Circle launch party held by Penguin Teen Australia at Dimmicks in Melbourne. I thought I would include it in this video just for those who were interested. So obviously I did go to the Ruby Circle launch party to get this book early, and I did. And I read it one night before it actually came out, which is today. It actually comes out, and I loved it. I flew through this book. It was so good, and it was everything I needed and wanted in the Bloodline series. So if you've not read the Bloodline series, or you're not up to date with the Bloodline series, that is up to Silver Shadows, which is, you know, the fifth book in the series, then I would avoid this review because it's probably going to contain spoilers for the previous books. But I won't spoil the Ruby Circle until the end. I do want to talk about a couple of things that happen in there, but I will fully say ahead, warning, spoiler alert, so you can all leave so you don't have to be spoiled. But if you haven't read the Bloodline series yet, I would highly recommend you doing so. Every book just gets better and better. The series is fantastic, and I will actually be doing a series review on the whole Bloodline series as a whole, so if you're interested you can look out for that, and it should be coming out soon. So just as a final warning, I am going to spoil the previous books in the Bloodline series so I can talk about the plot in this one. Okay, so as we all know, Sydney and Adrian are married and it's fantastic. However, married life isn't all what it's cracked up to be for Sydney and Adrian. They've got a lot going on which normally a newly married couple doesn't have to face these issues. Jill is still missing and they're still trying to find her desperately, and they're also still being cooped up in the Maury court. Sydney doesn't hardly ever leave the home, and when Adrian does, he generally gets attacked by other people for, you know, marrying a human. And on top of all that, their married life isn't so great because they're still living with Adrian's mum. Sydney and Adrian both put their lives on the line, as well as other characters that we know and love. Sydney and Adrian have a lot to do with this book, and obviously everything kind of has to be wrapped up as this is the last book in the series. So a lot goes on in this book, and I was so worried going into this book that I wouldn't like the finale. I was worried that something would happen and I just wouldn't be able to deal with it. But my worries were rest assured, and sure, a lot of sad stuff did happen, but a lot of great stuff happened too, and I'm thoroughly impressed with the finale of this series. I couldn't have asked for a better ending, to be honest. Questions were wrapped up from this series and from the Vampire Academy series. Meanwhile, this book was just action-packed. Every chapter had something different and unusual and something that I just needed to keep reading on. There was no dull point in this book at all. This is a book that we have been waiting for as Bloodlines fans, and you are not going to be disappointed, or at least I wasn't. I absolutely loved this book and I loved the ending, and I don't think Richelle Mead could have done a better job. I would highly recommend picking this book up if you haven't already. I don't know why you wouldn't have if you haven't, because it's so fantastic and so good, and I'm sure you will love it just as much as I did. So now I'm going to head and discuss some things that happened in the book that will be spoilery. So if you do not want to be spoiled, please leave now, go read the book, and then come back and then you can watch it and discuss it with me. So again, final warning, leave now if you do not want to be spoiled. This book was just so good. I was so worried that Adrian or Jill was gonna die, and I was so stressed out, but luckily they didn't. Obviously Olive did die, and I was very, I guess, I was sad about that, but it didn't really affect me a lot. And I think that was mainly because I was just so worried about Adrian and Jill that it didn't really bother me too much. If, you know, if we had to deal with Olive's death, that was fine with me. But little Declan, oh my god, vampires can have babies with each other? What is this? This changes the world. It changes stuff for Rose and Dimitri. It changes stuff for the Vampires universe, and I know that not many people know about it, but I'm assuming it'll have to come out sometime, and I hope Richelle Mead kind of does more books in this series, just expanding on that. I think it's something that really rocks the Vampire Academy world. I loved how Sydney and Adrian got to raise Declan as their own. I was really unsure about it at the start because I really wanted Sydney to, you know, go to college and Adrian to get a job and stuff like that. So I'm really happy they were able to do that with the help of Adrian's mum and their friends. I also loved Woof in this video, or Woofy. I don't know how, I'm gonna say Woof, but it might be Woofy. But oh my gosh, that character. He is one of the most unusual, eccentric, exciting and really weirdest characters I have ever read in a book. There was one line in here that it just absolutely had me cracking up by him, and it's when Sydney is fighting Alicia and Wolf comes in and he says, "Would have been here sooner," cried Wolf, calling the pack off with a quick gesture, "but that bitch tied me up, had to wait for the dogs to gnaw through my ropes." And that line just instantly had me cracking up. It was just the thought of his chihuahuas, you know, gnawing through these ropes, and it was just so ridiculous that I just had to laugh. It was just classic Wolfie. I'm happy that things of Zoe and Sydney got resolved, although I will never forgive Zoe. I can understand why Sydney does want to have a little bit of a relationship with her, and I'm happy that things there kind of got fixed up. I don't quite though trust the alchemists, to be honest. I don't believe that they will stop the re-education centre. I know that they might, but I just don't trust those alchemists at all. And then because I wasn't expecting it, I was so delighted when we found out that Rose and Dimitri had got engaged. I literally got up from where I was sitting, jumped up with joy and said yippee and squealed. I have never had that reaction before in a book. I was that delighted by the news. Also, Dimitri and Adrian being cousins really shocked me. And I also wasn't really surprised that Alicia was still alive. I had a sneaking suspicion that Sydney didn't kill her, and so it was really interesting to see her come back and play this part in the book that she did. I am super happy with this ending, and I would love to know in the comments below what you thought of it. What was your favourite part? Please spoil it in your comments because I don't want to spoil other people, but oh my gosh, it was so good and I am so happy with it. And I'm just so relieved that Adrian or Jill didn't die, because honestly I don't know what I would have done. So yeah, that is my book review of The Ruby Circle. I hope you enjoyed it. I would love to know what you thought of the book. I'm obviously giving it a 5 out of 5 stars. I thought it was fantastic. The best book yet in the Vampire Academy Bloodline series. Please like this video if you liked it and subscribe if you'd like to see more book related videos from me, and I'll see you next time. Okay? Bye!